So what I'm going to do, Jim, is I'm going to have you introduce yourself, and then we'll take off from there.
All right. Well, my name is Jim Williams. I've gone by Jimbo for the majority of my life. Never really liked it when I was a kid because it always made me sound so young, but now I kind of like it because it makes me sound kind of young.
That's great. So you've got a company that you all started here just what, a little over a year ago now.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we started it I think we made our first sale in August of 2023.
So what's the company called?
It's called Cowpuncher Coffee.
Very good. And so what made you decide you wanted to start doing that?
Well, we also own a feed store in West Central New Mexico, and we had decided that living in a rural town, kind of not much to choose from, low population, that we wanted to have a product that would drive people to the store to get something that no one else had. And so my wife and I put our heads together and come up with this line, Cowpuncher Coffee. And what it does is we're kind of trying to promote the Western way of life, if you will, doing it with the names of, of course, Cowpuncher Coffee. And then we have the high-headed heifer that if you've ever been around cows, you know what a high-headed heifer is. And the crazy cow. And then we've got the bunkhouse and the saddle up and the saddle maker. And of course, being from New Mexico, you got to have a pinon, which it's based on my grandmother right there. That's her picture on the label. And so we developed it, to help drive business into the store. And we do a very large amount of fishing licenses and hunting licenses. And so people that were coming in and hunting or fishing were buying coffee and then going home to other places than Western New Mexico, and then started calling saying, hey, love the product. How can we get more? So April of 24, Trisha developed a website and started selling it out that way. And then we started getting people asking, hey, do you guys have wholesale opportunities? So we started wholesaling the product as well in June of 24. And I think currently we're now to just under 100 wholesalers from as far north as South Dakota to down as into Texas and from West Virginia to California. We're all over the United States and growing fast. It's a whirlwind, but it's also been a lot of fun.
That's great. Have you found that you've got been able to generate the most growth through the internet, or did any of your trade shows that you've done help?
Yeah, it's been a little bit of both. We were working with some influencers on TikTok, and that, as you well know, I think 100 million viewers at any one point, it seems like, on TikTok. And so we've generated some there. Facebook has helped us to promote quite a bit of business and promoting it that way. And then trade shows. We did a trade show out in Vegas and the show was poorly attended. So we didn't do as good as we thought, but we made some contact with some really good retailers that have turned into be some really big customers. And then recently we went to a show in Dallas called WESA, and that's just for retailers. And that was a really big hit for us because, it's kind of thinking outside the box and people are liking the product because nobody else has it. And we're giving territories some protection. So if Joe Smith's feed store signs up for it, we're not going to sign up his competitor across the road. We're giving
Right.
some exclusivity there. And so people are enjoying having it because it's doing the same thing. It's driving business into their store to, to buy the coffee. And then hopefully they're picking up a bag of feed or buying a pair of pants or getting a pair of gloves or doing something while they're there. So
That's great.
it's been very well received.
So primarily it's been feed stores, Western wear stores that have been picking it up.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's, generally agricultural type businesses are what are carrying it. We've got a new store that we'll be announcing here pretty quick that's got a presence in Houston, George Bush International airport there in Houston, and then they've got another store in Houston and one in Dallas. So that'll be a little bit of kind of non-agriculture, but they are a Western wear store that sells a lot of higher end products. But yeah, generally the people that have brought it into their inventory have been tied into agriculture some way.
That's amazing. Do you have any restaurants that are buying it and then just selling the product that they're
We do.
making?
We have a couple throughout the United States right now. We have a couple more that we're talking to and working on a label for them, and they're serving the coffee. And then they have, a little sign that says, if you like the coffee, you can buy it here. And so they're retailing it. And so it's gone over real well there too.
Well, that's great. So you can get two opportunities out of that between
Right,
selling it
exactly.
retail. Well, that's awesome. So backing up a little bit, you are from New Mexico. You and I met a few years back. We'll just uh, leave it at
Yeah.
that.
That sounds like a good number.
Back in college, and we worked a little together on some different places. Then you went on your way, and eventually you were running a ranch out there, right? Your own place.
Right. We had bought a place from my dad. He had, COPD, and so he had to retire. And so we ended up buying a place from him that, the original ranch that my grandmother and grandfather started back in the 30s. It's still in the family, but his brother and him had decided to split it whenever he needed to retire due to health issues. And we bought that from him in 2016 and had that, until we decided to move to Texas, which was a couple of years ago.
So what were some of the things that drove you to move out here?
Well, unfortunately lost my dad and, I guess that was, gosh, 5 years ago now. And, we miss him every day, but he was very close to the Lord. So it's like he told me, he says, don't, this ain't goodbye. This is just see you later as long as you keep your ducks in a row.
Right.
That's what he told me. But so when we lost him, my wife and I had two daughters and six grandkids, and being 14 hours away, it was hard to do our jobs as good grandparents and spoiling those grandkids rotten. So we decided to move to Texas. And it was something that we had talked to my dad about because we wanted his blessing. We didn't want there to ever be any ill will or any bad feelings that if we did something different. And he's like family's first and foremost. And he said, I just ask that you continue to do something with cows in some way or fashion. And so we did. We sold a place that had a lot of acres in New Mexico and bought a place in Texas that has not near as many, but we can actually run more cows over here than we did there. So we're still honoring what he wanted and giving our grandkids the, ability to see what it's like to be involved in a ranch.
Well, that has to be a lot of fun, and I'm sure they're loving it.
Yeah, they do. We've got a couple of our older granddaughters that have actually bought in. They bought some heifers and they keep track of what the feed costs are and what it costs to graze them, and they pay a little interest on their money because they borrowed it from me and their nana. And so, we're trying to teach them a little bit about, the fact that what it goes into to put a hamburger in McDonald's and put a steak in, a place at, a steakhouse. So gives them an understanding of what the true process is all about.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's a great opportunity. Do they live out there on the property with you, or are they just nearby?
No, they live in the Dallas area. And so we wanted to be close to them, but we didn't want to live anywhere in the big city. So we found a place in East Texas that still gives us that ability to feel like we're living in the country, but it's only 10 minutes to Walmart. So kind of best of both worlds.
You still have access when you need it.
Not like New Mexico where we'd go once a month and and have to take a covered trailer so we could haul all the stuff back in one
And
trip.
you'd have to go to a sort of big city, a bigger city, I guess.
Oh yeah, we'd usually go to Albuquerque to do all that stuff.
Okay, so you were close. It was a closer trip to go that way.
Yeah, it was 2.5 hours to go to Albuquerque. There were other towns that we could go that were smaller, but none of them had, Costco or Sam's or anything like that.
So you're out in Texas now, loving it, and it seems that the company is doing really well. The coffee is. So where do you go from here?
Well, I think, we just keep taking it day by day. God has blessed us with a phenomenal product that people seem to like. And my wife is a very talented woman that has, I tell everybody, her talent with the coming up with the labels and the descriptions and the stuff, that gets them to buy it off the shelf the first time. And then we've been able to pair up with a guy that's here in Texas as well. He's second generation and he's what they call a master roaster. So he's got a product he's got a piece of equipment that was built in 1915 and it's made out of cast iron and that's what he roasts all his beans in.
Wow.
And, for those that know what cast iron cooking is all about, once you get that dude seasoned just right, everything just tastes better after in it that comes out of it after that point.
Well, that's a great little piece of history you have there too, right?
Right. And we love the fact, his ideas and values align with ours. He's not automated. He likes to provide jobs for people instead of going automated to, there's one automated process that you have to, and that's where they put the coffee in the little pods for the K-cups, that seals it. But then from that point forward, they're hand stacked into the box and the labels are all hand applied and hand packaged. And so he says he'll never go automated because he likes providing jobs for people. And we like being aligned with somebody that thinks that way.
That's a great deal. How difficult was it getting it all up and running at the beginning?
We knew it was a divine intervention, I guess, or it was something that God was definitely blessing because it was fairly easy. Everything just flowed. We found the guy. That the labels came together real easy. The coffee just tastes really well. When people and they'll call themselves, coffee snobs. They know what a craft small batch coffee company is, so you're held to a higher standard. We have, certain people may not like a dark roast or they may not like we have, an Irish cream flavor. We have a bourbon blend. So they may not like, certain blends because of the flavoring, but if they like just a medium roast with no flavoring, we have yet to have anybody give us a bad review. So, but
It's a good
it's
position to
been
be in.
when things go that easy, kind of back to your question, you know that you must be doing something right because it's just flowed endlessly really, really well.
That's wonderful. I'm glad to hear that it's worked out so well for y'all. Things have gone smoothly. How about the cattle operation? How's that going?
It's going well. It's a good time to be in the cattle business. Prices are an all-time high. We live in a place where it actually rains, and so we get, our cows. It's different than New Mexico. We've had some of our best years in New Mexico, best summers with 5 or 6 inches of rain, throughout the summer. And if this place was to get only 5 or 6 inches, it would just, it would be a train wreck. But that grass out there grows a lot different. It's a different type of grass and it's very strong, has a lot of protein. And here, they just have to eat a lot more to get the protein. And of course, being in the feed business where we have the accessibility to good protein supplements and a good program. So that way that they're maximizing all the forage that they are eating to their best capability, so to speak.
So did you stand up another feed store out here?
No, no, we didn't. we've helped some friends get a feed store going in Tom Bean, Texas. We're silent partners on that deal, but it's funny, all of the feed tubs that we get are made in Texas, so it's only a couple hours from where we live, so we're able to just place an order and go down there and pick it up directly from the factory.
That's definitely one of the things I found has been remarkable out here is how many things are produced here in Texas. And it drew us to here was the fact that everybody wants to support each other out here. When
Yes,
you start a business, people look at it and say, "Hey, that's a great product or a great business. I'll support you. I want to buy that."
yes.
And it always seems like everybody wants to really push forward with it, and it's a great feeling and a great easy way to make a lot of friends.
Yeah, and we're currently getting the particulars put into order and getting set up with the, oh, I can't remember. It's the Truly Texan, or it's the Texas-based company that showcases all of the Texas companies that are based out of Texas. New Mexico has one. They call it New Mexico True. And for the life of me, I can't remember. I can't remember what it's called here in Texas, but we're getting set up, and then that way we'll be showcased as a true Texas-based company.
I have to ask, have you talked to HEB yet?
We haven't, and they're definitely on our radar. They have certain times of the year where they like to talk to, Texas-based companies, and so we will entertain that when they start taking those applications, I guess. But there's still, like I said, there's still a lot of other businesses that we align with that will definitely give us the representation that I think needs to be to get our product out there.
I think you have a great customer base where you are working out of the feed stores and the agricultural based
Yes.
businesses. That's really awesome. And I saw you did a post within the last couple of days where you had a young fellow playing with that play set that was had the squeeze chute and the trailer that he could back up to it, and
Yes.
that was neat to watch him playing with that. And he, at the same time he's playing, he's also learning how to run the business and probably doing what he's seeing dad and grandpa do out there.
Yes. Yeah. That gentleman that makes that his name is Jerry, and he's out of Happy, Texas, and his company's called the Happy Toy Maker. And he does. We have one that's red and yellow. It's got a little single gooseneck trailer that they push behind or pull by, that they push around and for the boys. And then we bought one that's a pink truck with a white horse trailer, and that's what the girls play with. And but yeah, it's they're great people. I mean, those toys are generational. They're so well built that I'm pretty sure my great grandkids will be able to play with it at some point, because they're really cool toys and very well built.
That's fun to watch him. Do you? I notice you've had the kids participating in some of the shipping, and I've got a few cards that have been signed.
Yes. So with the two granddaughters that we had, we kind of made a deal that you have to be 10 years old, and then you can buy your first set of heifers, and then you have to start the process there. Well, our middle granddaughter, she's 8. Well, she was 8 at the time. She's 9 now. She didn't want to wait till she was 10. So she was like, well, I want to do coffee. I want to be involved in the coffee business. And so we said, okay, kind of thinking, here's an 8-year-old kid that'll probably go down and lose interest. And boy, were we wrong. She has barreled into that, and she has taken ownership in it. We've actually given her her own title. She is the KIC, which is Kid in Charge. And so when she first started, she was basically like a little employee, so to speak. And so she'd work a few hours and make a little money, and she would, granddaughters, everything's all about skincare, so they're going to the local makeup store and buying stuff for their skin and yada yada yada. And but when we saw how serious she was about it, we were like, well, we give the girls a chance to buy cows, we'll give you a chance to have ownership in the coffee company. So she is now 1% owner of Cowpuncher Coffee. And this was all on hers, Alex. We didn't have to explain this to her. She was like, well, now that I'm an owner, does that mean I still get a paycheck, or do I have to wait till the end of the year to see if we made a profit before I get money? And we're like, yep, that's exactly what it is. And so every time she comes in, she goes down and does inventory and stocks shelves and packs orders, and she's
Very
anxiously waiting.
enthusiastic.
Yes, and she's made some videos, and she and if you look at any of the videos that we have on our TikTok page or on our Facebook page, that's all self-scripted. We might have done multiple takes, to get it right because she wanted it to be perfect, but she's come up with it all on her own. And we have a gentleman that we work with on the TikTok from Arkansas, and his name is Randy. And so we said, all right, we're going to do a little video and send it to Randy. And she says, hello, Randy from Arkansas. This is Olivia from Texas. And I mean, it's so much fun, and she's having fun with it. She's very anxiously waiting for the tax returns to be done for 2024 because she wants to know how much she made, and then she wants to turn around and put it right back into the business and buy more percentage of ownership in it. So
Great. That's great to see. Is she going to be coming out with her own flavors anytime in the future?
we do have a hot chocolate that's got her seal of approval on it. It's KIC approved. So, it's a traditional hot chocolate. So it's one that we packaged, put it in a box. It looks kind of like the K-Cup box, but it's actually individual packages. You make it with milk, and you can make it with water, but it doesn't taste as good. But she 100% was part of the tasting process and made sure she found something that she liked before she put her seal of approval on it.
Seems like her percentage may be going up over as the years carry on.
Yeah, we're one of the reasons why we're doing this is it's hopefully something that our kids will be interested in, or grandkids, and something that'll be around for generations to come.
That's a great thing for them to take over from you all, as well as the cattle operation.
Yes, they work very well together.
That's fantastic. So your website, what is the website to purchase that coffee?
It's cowpunchercoffee.com, and it's pretty self-explanatory. You can see the different grounds. We have the beans, we have the K-cups. Tells a little bit about our story, who we are, why we're doing what we're doing, and you can definitely order it from there. We've got a TikTok shop as well, and we're just there under Cowpuncher Coffee and TikTok, and you can purchase the product there as well. So couple of different avenues with the internet age to choose from.
Right, because you can link, I think, from Instagram or Facebook as well, right? There's links in there.
Correct. Yep.
And so
100%.
I guess now you're kind of like my drug dealer because I never drank coffee before. And now I drink it every morning.
Yeah, I've had several people tell me, they're like, you're just like a drug dealer. You gave us some for free, and now we're hooked on it.
But I
But
guess there are worse things to be hooked on, right?
yeah, much worse. Yes, yeah, it's a lot of fun, and we tell people that if you're drinking some of that stuff in a red can or a blue can, and you go to ours, it's we tell you right up straight front, it's going to ruin you because they're 100% different. The beans are different, the quality of beans, where we make sure that everything's used with the best quality beans there are. And being that stuff's made to order, if we place an order and for stuff that's being sold next week, our stuff is very rarely over 2 to 3 weeks old.
That's great quality wise that you don't have to worry about it getting old.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a window there if we wanted it to be. That as long as the bag's not open, it's guaranteed fresh for 18 months. But it just sounds better if you can say that this is less than a month old when you're selling it,
Absolutely.
and be
And
telling the
that's
truth at the same time.
all right. We figured out we figured out we're on that subscription now, so we've figured out how long it'll last, and the orders come in just about right now, so we don't have it sitting around for very long at all.
Perfect. Perfect.
Well, is there anything else you want to add about your businesses?
Well, no, just that we sure thank all of the people that are buying from us, and we give glory to God every day for giving us the ability to do it and for blessing us with what we have, and definitely we wouldn't have any of this without him. So give credit
Well,
where
I hope
credit is due.
absolutely, and I hope some of the viewers I don't have a whole lot yet, but maybe they'll give it a shot, try out some of your coffee, and spread the word for you.
Well, we thank you for that, Alex,
Absolutely.
and appreciate you very much.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you taking the time to visit with me, and we get to do another episode on this channel as well. So maybe down the road somewhere we could get together again, maybe do a live one.
Yeah, that'd be great. We'd love to do that.
That would be fun. So thank you very much for spending the time with me, Jimbo, and we will be talking to you soon.
All right, Alex, you take care.